What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. You guys know it is Thursday and it is time for the all-new, all-powerful breakdown. What I do here is I take the key collectors hot 10 comics of the week and I break them down for everybody out there, letting you know which books I'm buying and of course which books I'm staying away from. But before we get into it, I want to say a big thank you, of course, to the Key Collector app for putting together all these lists that we cover here on this channel. Not only that, I want to remind you guys, if you're not a current sub of the channel, do yourself a favor, hit that sub button, smash the like button for this guy right here. But let me introduce you right now to the all-new Breakdown Girl. There she is in all her glory. Absolutely stunning. With that said and out of the way, let's get into this week's breakdown. Starting us off this week at number 10 is Amazing Spider-Man number 15 and the first appearance of Kraven the Hunter. This is also the second appearance of the Chameleon. 4 sales beat the average this week with a high and a graded 8.0, selling for $2,375, but flat against the average. Next up, we had a graded 6.5 sale for $1,710, up a crazy 28% over the average. And finally, a graded 5.5, selling for $950 and up 3% over the average. This is the first week Amazing Spider-Man number 15 has qualified for the Hot 10 breakdown. You guys know me, I'm a big Silver Age Amazing Spider-Man guy, so I'm always looking to pick up those Silver Age villain keys. To me, in my mind, they are some of the best. So yes, I'm 100% a buyer of this book. Just make sure you're a long-term holder and a crazy Spider-Man fan. Coming in at the 9th spot this week is G.I. Joe Real American Hero number 1 and the first team appearance of G.I. Joe. 7 sales beat the average this week with a high and a graded 9.6, selling for $395 and up 22% over the average. Then we had a graded 9.4, sell for only $229, up 1% over the average. And lastly, a graded 9.2, selling for only $271, up 33% over the average. You guys heard that right. A 9.2 sold for more than a 9.4. G.I. Joe continues to show strong interest due to the Energon shared universe by Image and Skybound. I gotta tell you, guys know what I say about these nostalgia keys. G.I. Joe 1, Transformers 1, Thundercats 1, so on and so forth. Would I like to own them? Yeah, if I can get it for cheap, I'd be a buyer. If not, I'm not paying crazy amounts of money just to own them in super high grade when I can get them for a deal in the raw form. Speaking of nostalgia books, well, not really. At number 8 this week is Predator number 1, the first appearance of the Predator in a standard comic book. A crazy 13 sales broke the average this week with a high and a graded 9.8, selling for $447, up 2% over the average. Proving again that outside media has a strong correlation to comic collectability, as Predator earns a spot on the breakdown for the 5th time in 2025. Predator Badlands is doing awesome at the box office, contributing to more sales for this book. A crazy 13 sales, believe it or not. I always say 9.8 for $500 or less, I'd be a buyer. I'm not a huge Predator fan, so I'm going to stay away from this book. But if you are and you want to own the book, I say go for it, be my guest. Back to the Silver Age at number 7 this week is Daredevil number 7, the debut of Daredevil's red costume. Only 4 sales beat the average this week with a high and a graded 7.0, selling for $595 and up 4% over the average. Next up, we had a graded 6.5 sale for $500, up a crazy 20% over the average. And lastly, a graded 4.5, selling for only $315, but still up 19% over the average. This is only the second time in 2025 that Daredevil number 7 has earned a spot on the breakdown. Now, with that said, if I'm going to go out and spend money on a Daredevil book, it's going to be Daredevil number 1. To me, that is the key I want to own. But second to that is this book right here. It's still affordable to boot. So yes, I am a buyer of this book, especially if you're a Daredevil fan. Now, with that said, a lot of Silver Age keys, I was saying before, they're on a discount right now. You could go out and add these books to your collection for the long term, and that's what I'd be doing. Back to reality at number 6 is Incredible Hulk number 340 and this classic cover by Todd McFarlane. How many of you were shut out from the Todd signing, having submissions closed early? I want to hear down in the comments. 13 sales beat the average this week with 3 and a 9.8. The high selling for $1,313, still up 26% over the average. Then we had 3 graded at a 9.6 with a high of $494, still up 25% over the average. This week marks the 12th time that one of McFarlane's best covers has made its way onto the Key Collector Hot 10 breakdown. Now, I tell you guys every week when this book is on it, I want to own the book. But you get this book in a nice high-grade raw copy for a hell of a lot cheaper than you will finding a graded copy. With that said, I do want to own the book. I just don't want to overpay. And you guys know all these Copper Age books have a ton of copies out there. Rounding out the list at number 5 this week is Star Wars number 1. The first appearance of most of the original Star Wars characters. 7 copies broke the average this week with a high in a graded 9.8, selling for a crazy $3,600, up an even crazier 33% over the average. Next up, we had a graded 9.6 sell for $853, up 14% over that average. And finally, a graded 9.2 selling for $420, up 11% over the average. Get this, in 2010, a 9.4 was $82. In 2014, it was $162. In 2015, $279. Star Wars number 1 continues to be a dominant cross collectible in the secondary market. I say it all the time. If you're a big Star Wars fan, and there are a lot of you out there, I think you want to own this book. I just don't want to spend $3,000 plus on a 9.8. I don't see it being worth it. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. So if you want to own the book, I suggest getting yourself a nice high-grade raw copy or a 9.2, 9.4 if you're a graded collector. If not, I'd be staying away. Back on the list at number 4 this week is Something is Killing the Children, number 1, the first appearance of Erica Slaughter. An incredible 16 sales beat the average this week with a high graded in a 9.8, selling for $967, up 34% over the average. This marks the 5th time that Something's Killing the Children, number 1, has made an appearance on the Key Collector Hot 10 breakdown. You guys know me, I'm not a big modern guy, but if you are and you love this storyline, maybe you want to own this book in a 9.8, but $1,000, this book has shot up crazily over the past couple of years. Do I want to own the book? Sure. If I can get a nice raw copy for cheap, I might buy it just because I enjoy the story. Other than that, I think these prices are too high for me. I'd be staying away. Making the list for the second week in a row at number 3 this week is Absolute Batman number 1, the premier issue of an ongoing series in the Absolute universe. An astounding 24 sales beat the average this week, all in a 9.8. That's the reason I don't buy modern, folks. The high of the week was in a Kia variant selling for $625, up a crazy 72% over the average. The high for a standard edition was $242, up an astounding 112% over the average. Down 2 spots from the top spot last week, Absolute Batman makes the breakdown for the second week in a row. This book is absolutely on fire, and I'm really shocked it didn't appear on the list before last week. That's how hot it's been. Yes, do I want to own the book if I can get it for cheap? And I think a 9.8 direct will probably cost you around $120. Realistically, I'm not too sure why this person paid $240. If you want to own the book, I say go for it. It's cheap enough. If not, if you're not a modern guy like me and I wouldn't be counting on appreciation, I'd be staying away. Back on the list at number 2 this week is a mainstay on this list. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 300 and the first full appearance of Venom. This is also an iconic issue by the Todd Father and a landmark 300th issue. 16 sales broke the average this week with a high in a graded 9.8, selling for $2,707, up 9% over the average. Then we had 4 sales in a 9.6. The high selling for $900, up 9% over the average. Amazing Spider-Man 300 climbs 2 spots higher this week for its 27th appearance on the Key Collector Hot 10 Comics of the Week. Guys, everybody out there owns an Amazing Spider-Man 300. We're all not going to lie. You want to spend $2,700 at a 9.8. With this book still coming down in price, I've said it last week, $2,300 for a 9.8 CGC, and we had that $1,700 and change selling in a PSA. Everyone has one. There are too many copies out there. If you're a Spider-Man and a Venom fan, you got to own the book. Just cough up the least amount of money in the grade you want to own. And finally, at the top spot this week, the true king of comics, regaining its throne as the most powerful comic book in the universe. That's right, it's Amazing Spider-Man number 129 and the first appearance of the Punisher, Frank Castle. This is also the first appearance of the Jackal. 14 sales beat the average this week with a high in a graded 9.2, selling for $3,000, up 4% over the average. Then we had a graded 8.5 sale, selling for $2,400, up 18% over the average. And check this out. We almost ran the gauntlet with sales from a 7.5 all the way down to a 0.5 incomplete. Insanity. The Punisher makes his record 35th appearance and 12th at the top spot in 2025. Absolutely amazing. All hail Frank Castle and the Punisher. All seriousness, guys, this is one of the top books out there in the market right now, and everybody wants to own this book. Whether you're a Punisher fan, whether you absolutely love this beautiful yellow cover by John Romita Sr. and Gil Kane, and because the Punisher is showing up in the MCU and Spider-Man Brand New Day, this book is extremely hot. It's always been a desirable key. 100% I want to own the book, being a Spidey fan and a Punisher fan and a Romita fan, so it's a trifecta to me. But be careful out there. A lot of copies out there in bronze and copper. Just get your copy that you want to own in your collection for the long term. I hope you guys enjoyed another breakdown this week. Some changes, which I hope you all like. We have the new breakdown girl, and right here, right now, we're going to try to name her, okay? I'm going to put up a post over on Instagram and on YouTube. Let's name this chick and come up with a great name for her. It is now time, like always, for my best buy of the week. And it's a toss-up between Amazing Spider-Man number 15 and Amazing Spider-Man number 129. To me, you can't go wrong. I usually go silver over bronze here, but because Kraven has really taken a dip over the past 3 or 4 years or so, I'm going to say go with Amazing Spider-Man number 129. A lot of people love that book. It is highly desirable as compared to Silver Age Spidey's right now. At least some of the bigger villains will always sell well. Kraven doesn't always do too well, just like Scorpion. So to each his own, but to me, I'm going 129 here. Hope you guys enjoyed the list. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching. Happy collecting. Don't forget, download the Key Collector app, and I'll talk to you guys soon.